Okay. All right. Hi, guys. Thank you for joining us Monday, July 11th. Just real quick, if anybody didn't listen to the National Wake Up Call this morning, August is going to be Team Cup Month. So registration is going to open a week from today, July 18th. One lifetime diamond per team, 5 coaches per team. And I don't know if the prizes are up yet, but they'll be posted sometime this week. So start to get your teams together, rally your coaches, because coming out of Summit, we're going to have a lot of momentum to really push into Team Cup. So we have a guest speaker today, so I am going to jump right in. Rachel is an 8-star diamond coach. She's a Success Club 10 All-Star, and she talks extensively about the benefits of Shakeology for so many different reasons. It's just so great to sort of listen to her and what she has to say and her take on Shakeology. I've gotten to know her a little bit. We've been going through Marketing Impact Academy together the last couple of months. So it's been nice to sort of listen to how she sort of brings Shakeology into the business. So I am going to turn it right over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So just a little background on me. So you guys don't think that I'm just like talking and I don't have like the why and how and the why did I come to Shakeology was not like the seamless. I was in a challenge group and like, hey, you know, let's have these great results. I didn't have a before story. I didn't really have I didn't have any kind of a transformation. I'm a registered dietitian, technician, and nutrition specialist. So my whole foundation on Shakeology was based on a client, and I'll get into that in a second. But just to kind of backtrack a little bit and give you guys a little bit of, am I too dark back here? I'm in my office because my housekeeper is in my regular spot.
No, you're okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So when I got married and had kids, and my husband and I started doing P90X, and I've always loved Beachbody. Like, I love Beachbody products, was totally a Beachbody person, loved everything about it. But Shakeology wasn't even part of it yet. Like, that wasn't even something when P90X came out. I think it was like 2002 or 2003. It was something like that. I don't think Shakeology came out until 2009, 2010, right around there, where the coaching opportunity came out too. So I had done P90X and I loved it. It was great. And my husband continued on the program and I kind of went my own way. So kids were like 2, and we moved to California when the kids were 4. And being a master trainer and having the experience that I have with health and fitness, I get a gym membership for $28 a year. And it's ridiculous. So I was like, okay, great. I'll just get the kids going. We're going to move into this house and we're just going to get things. My whole life is just going to pick up and go where I've always done, go to the gym with the kids, get my workout done, come home. But that changed because when you live in Southern California, 20 minutes is not really 20 minutes. 20 minutes is more like 45 minutes. And by the time you go there, work out, come home, your entire morning is gone. And so I was finding myself going to the gym at like 8:30 in the morning, having to deal with traffic. So I'd wait until 9:30 for school traffic to clear. And by the time I would get there, it was close to 10:15. By the time I would get home, it'd be close to 1. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like, this is just, I can't spend 5 days a week at the gym doing this and come home and still be able to, you know, do all the things I need to do with the kids and the house, et cetera, et cetera. So I ordered Insanity. And at that time still, Shakeology was not quite there, but what was there was those little blog boards. It was the Wowie Gym where you can go in there and plug in and be like, hey, I'm gonna get my workout done. It was kind of like the groundwork of coaching, right? It's what actually Barbie Club was talking about this morning on the National Wake Up Call, how they would go in and blog. And I forget who she said came up to her and says, you know, Barbie, you'd be such a great coach. You should really do this. If I could do it, you could do it. She was already signed up to be a coach because she liked it. So same situation. I was going in there and I was blogging, and someone from Beachbody, and I know now it was Christine Dreyer, had called me and said, hey, you know, you're really active on these blog boards. You know, would you be interested in learning more about our coaching opportunity? And I was like, no. I just flat out no. You know, I'm a fitness specialist. I'm, you know, finishing up my nutrition degree, and that's not something that I would be interested in doing. But I love the programs, but no, not something I want to do. And then about 2 years later, Scotty Hobbs calls me and says, "Hey, you know, I saw you had Shakeology and P90X, and I just want to know, would you be interested? We're launching this thing. It's called Shakeology." And I said, literally, I said to him, "I am a dietitian, technician, and nutrition specialist, and I eat food." That's what I said. And he was like, "Okay." I'm like, "But thanks anyway." And I would see people posting about Shakeology here and there, and be like, whatever, man, these people are crazy. Like, what are they doing? So let's fast forward like 4 years. So still doing my thing. I've got my clientele. I was working at the school, part-time with the kids. I didn't really need to work, but I liked working. And so I was approached by one of my friends and clients. She has stage 4 breast cancer, and there's no cure for her, and she knows that, and she knows it was going to be a fight. And so she calls me and she's like, "Hey, listen, I'm going in for my second round of chemo." At this point, I didn't even know she had a first round of chemo, and she tells me, you know, kind of what's going on with her. And she's like, "I need a meal replacement. I need something that's going to give me vitamins and minerals, and I need your help. Like, I need you to help me put something into place that's going to be helpful, beneficial for me, so I can get through this. I need to get through this." The last time I went through this, it was so hard, and my body was just so depleted. I had no energy. So I was like, okay, well, there's nothing on the market that I would recommend to you right now. So you're going to have to let me talk to some people, and I'll get back to you. And so I called one of my friends here who has a superfood company. And I said, "Hey, Sean, I need, you know, goji berries, bilberries, acai, or ashwagandha. I need a whey protein isolate, something that's going to be digested into the body at a slow rate. I'd like it to be flavored chocolate. She likes chocolate. Can we do that?" And he starts laughing at me, and I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "First of all, Rachel, it's going to taste like shit. Second of all, I'm just repeating what he said, but he's like, it's going to taste like shit. And second of all, it's going to cost like $600. Like, what are you trying to do? Tell me what you're trying to do, and I can help you from there. But tell me what's going on." So I explained to him, I'm like, "My friend, one of my clients, this is what's going on with her." So he says to me, "Why don't you contact Darren O'Lean?" Okay, so Darren O'Lean in our industry is kind of like Brad Pitt in the movie industry. We know who he is. And I'm like, isn't that crazy superfood guy who sold his product out to that MLM company? And he's like, "His product is amazing, and you should contact Darren O'Lean." I'm like, whatever. I'm not calling Darren O'Lean. "Are you going to help me or not?" He's like, "I just helped you. I just told you this is what you need to do." And so I started researching it. I researched Shakeology. I wanted to understand a little bit more about how it works in the body system. And so I actually called down there, and I asked to talk to part of the formulation team. They sent me some information, but most importantly, when I was looking through their clinical trials, I did see that the Academy of Dietitians and Nutritionists approved it as a meal replacement, but not as a weight loss supplement. So I went to the Academy and I said, "Okay, talk to me about this." Well, sorry, my hair is getting stuck to my lip gloss. I was like, "Talk to me, like, how does this work? Because I've got a friend, this is what's kind of going on." And they said, "Well, the reason why we don't approve it for weight loss is because, as you know, unless they're being medically tendered by a physician or by a dietitian inside of a hospital, we're not going to recommend anything as a dietary supplement unless it comes from a prescription pad." That is just physicians, you guys. That's just doctors. That's the way it's going to be. They want you in their office. They want you coming in every 6 to 8 weeks. They want you having secondary side effects so you come back into the office and talk to them a little bit more. It's pharmaceutical care right now is not what it used to be 10 years ago. So again, I was like, okay, great. So this is really, it was approved for the amount of protein consumption. It was approved for the right amount of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that a person needs for a daily dose, a daily intake of vitamins and minerals. So this would be perfect for her. So I got her started on it. And still was not a coach. I just said, "This is what you need to buy. I will help you with the meal plans, but this is what you need to buy." So she bought it. I got her started on a meal plan. I replaced 1 meal a day with Shakeology. And you guys, I still didn't even look up anything about coaching. I was oblivious. Like, And even if I was, I don't know that I would have done anything differently. So anyway, she got started on it. About 4 months later, her oncologist up at OHSU up in Portland calls me, says, Dr. Mansour, you've been working with, this patient, and I just want to tell you, whatever you're doing with her is amazing. She should be gaining weight. She's lost 25 pounds because they're forcing her into menopause. So she was losing weight. He's like, she's dancing into chemo. Like, she has energy. She feels great. But most importantly is that where her cancer was located. So it started in her breast, and then she had it in her femur and in her tailbone. The one that was up against her tailbone was pressing up against the spinal cord, so they couldn't get to it. He said, well, what's amazing is that the free radicals in her system are moving away from the cancer source. So we're actually able to get in there and radiate. He's like, I got former patients. Can you take them? Sure. Love to. Sent him to me. Still did not sign up as a coach. Nothing. So I'm working with these patients and everything's great and whatever. Now we're in April of 2014, and I see my cousin post something on Facebook that says something about these crazy little containers. Okay, she had her little containers out, and she was talking about meal planning and exercising. And I send her a message. I'm like, Par, what are you doing? Like, your cousin is a specialist, and you are doing whose program is that? She's like, no, I think you'd really like it. It's like all these portion sizes. I'm learning how to eat. I'm cooking everything, and I'm going to stick to it. And I'm like, what program is it? She's like, it's called the 21-Day Fix. And when you come to Portland, I'll show you everything, and you're going to love it. So for spring break that year, I went to Portland, and I go to her house, and she pulls out the 21-Day Fix, and she puts the DVDs on the countertop. She shows me all the containers. She brings out the recipe book, and she's showing it to me, and I'm looking through it, and I'm like, yeah, that looks good. And she pulls out the bag of Shakeology and sets it on the table. And I'm like, wait a second. And everything clicked. And I was like, wait, you mean this is all part of like Beachbody challenge packs? And so it was like, that was like the first time that I ever really realized that it was part of a program that was a part of something that was bigger than just, here's some product, go and drink it, right? Because what I had a problem with people just buying a product and then not knowing how to use it and consuming it improperly, and then it being getting a bad rap in the industry, becoming one of those scammy things, becoming one of those ugly things that you see Isogenics and Airbon and Herbalife doing, and it drives me crazy. And I was like, I can't be part of that. And so, so I watched for a while, and I friended Steph Davies, who's the one who signed her up. And I'm looking at Steph Davies. I don't know if you guys know who Stephanie is, but I'm looking at Steph, and I'm thinking, she's not even a professional. Like, what is she doing? But everything that she was advising her and how she was advising her was pretty sound. Like, it was nothing that was, icky or anything like that. So, I went to Portland at the end of July, because we spend usually a month in Portland in the summer. And one of my friends, who's also friends with my cousin, we were going to go miniature golfing. And she said, hey, I'm going to go have a meeting with somebody. And when I go have a meeting with this person, I really think that you're going to like what I'm going to go meet with her about. This is what she said. I think you're going to like what I'm going to go meet with her about. And yeah, I might want to talk to you about it tomorrow when we take the kids miniature golfing. I said, hey, Luce, if you're going to go talk to Steph Davies about signing up as a Beachbody coach, I'm in. She was like, what? Like, she didn't mention coaching. But at that point, I had made the decision. I had done enough homework. I had done enough research. And I had watched enough to understand how this product works. So I just want to kind of go back. It started during the holidays, but like October, November of 2013. And I watched for almost a year. I mean, I was an ambassador, I guess you could say, of Shakeology, and sharing it with certain people that I thought clinically needed it. But I watched even from April all the way until the end of July. So Shakeology. So in that aspect, I want you guys to know that it is for a professional, for someone like me, for someone who's watching. if you want to attract that type of tribe, if that's where your vibe is at, if that's what your attraction marketing is, if you want to have people who are on your team that, you know, are more along the professional lines, then you need to be very consistent and very accurate with how you're sharing. If you're looking for a transformational story, that's going to come from your own success. That's going to come from how you do, what you do, and how you present it to people. A couple of things that I'm going to start off with about Shakeology so you guys have a good understanding and a good basis of it is, like I said, it's not a weight loss supplement. And if any of you guys are sharing it as it's going to help you lose weight, then you might want to reconsider and rethink how you talk about Shakeology. Shakeology is a meal replacement, and the way that it is formulated is to support your body's digestive system. Okay, so your body's digestive system has a job. When you eat food, it goes in and it supports the breakdown of the proteins, the minerals, the vitamins inside of your body. Okay, so how that happens is through digestive acids, digestive enzymes, prebiotics, and probiotics. Your gut has to have all of those things in order to properly digest and break down the foods. So because of how it's formulated, because of when you drink it, it does reestablish that good gut protein and gives your body back the acids that it needs, and it gives back the enzymes. The enzymes are really important because as the acids are going in there and breaking things down, the enzymes are what's going to pull out the good stuff and get that out to your circulatory system. So your circulatory system, once you start eating, within 10 to 15 minutes, it starts, your blood kind of swells around your digestive system. And that's why they say do not eat at night before you go to bed, because when you eat at night, when you go to bed, your blood is going to be focused and working. Your body is working on digesting food when your body should be at rest. And that blood that's surrounding your digestive system to get out vitamins, minerals, and nutrients when you're sleeping should really be surrounding your muscles that you worked out and broke down, and providing your muscles with the right amount of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients to break down or to rebuild whatever you broke down that day. But when you eat before you go to bed, your body's focused on digestion, and that's where people don't understand that could be a big problem. So your circulatory system, they're hair-like fibers, we call them cilia. They surround your digestive system, and they are what surround or gets out to your major muscle groups, and your organs, the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that your body needs in order to support proper digestion and bone and muscle strength and health. When all those things are working in collaboration with one another, your pituitary glands in your brain receives messages that it's satiated and it's full, and therefore you don't feel hungry. That is why it works so well as a meal replacement. Today in our society, food is different than it was 10 years ago. It's different, way different than it was 20 years ago. That's why you see people in other cultures and other countries living longer, not having an obesity problem, and not having to deal with so many of the onset of allergies at an older age. So because Shakeology goes in and supports that part of your digestive system, it almost like resets your body. So your body can now intake some of those foods. But most importantly, and this is something you guys should all write down, is when you are creating a caloric deficit in your body, meaning you've got to take your body from 200 or 2,000 calories that it's been eating down to 1,600 calories or 1,500 calories. You're creating a 400 to 500, 600 calorie deficit. Now, granted, they should never have been eating 2,000 calories, but let's just be honest, most people do. So when you're taking them down to a caloric deficit of 1,500 calories, 1,600 calories, what else are you reducing? Nutrients, right? So how can they properly lose weight if they're not supporting their body's nutrition first? If their body's not getting the right amount of vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, because now, first of all, it's not getting it because just from generations of food and how food is composed today, they're not getting the same amount. From farm to table, they're losing 30%, sometimes 40%. So if they're losing 30 to 40% farm to table, now you're taking them down with a diet putting them on a restrictive meal plan and telling them, okay, I know that you love eating this 2,000 calories, but clearly those 2,000 calories have caused you to gain weight. So now we're going to take you from 2,000 calories down to 1,500 or 1,600 calories. You've got to be able to replenish the vitamins and minerals, you guys. You have to. So that's why Shakeology works. And that's why when you talk to people who are, using Shakeology and very faithful with their Shakeology usage, you see that they're losing weight from all over their body, not just one spot in their body. They're not losing it in their stomachs. They're not just losing it in their thighs. They're losing it from all over. They're dropping inches. And that's because their circulatory system is having support through the digestive system to do its job. And that's why Shakeology was approved by doctors to use as a way to help reduce cholesterol, to help reduce blood pressure, to help reduce arthritic issues, because your circulatory system is what causes arthritic issues when you have joint pain, and sometimes when you get older, your cartilage rubs up against each other, and that causes what you call rheumatoid arthritis. It's very painful. And also, it helps to support your body in a way where you're not getting as many headaches and migraines, because headaches, again, come from dehydration. Dehydration comes from the cell's lack of oxygen. And by supporting that through the circulatory system, you're reducing your migraines, you're reducing your headaches, and all over, you're just feeling better. You're feeling more energy because your cells have what they need in order to be sufficient, because now they're getting the nutrition that our grandparents used to get, which we don't get. Also, children. My daughter went to volleyball camp today and she drank a shake in the morning. Not a meal. This is not a weight loss thing, you guys. This is a meal. This is a perfect meal. Your kids can drink it. Your husband can drink it. Your grandparents can drink it. Everyone in your family, everyone that you love, everyone that you talk to, they should be drinking it. If they're buying vitamins, if they're buying omega-3s, if they're buying B12, they're buying, vitamin C, hello, camu. That's like one of the highly dense. It's so highly dense in vitamin C that it's almost too much vitamin C for us to take in. But because our bodies are so deficient, trust me, they'll use it, because you don't get enough vitamin C. You don't get enough vitamin D. These are all vitamins and minerals that are inside of Shakeology to help your body do what it's supposed to do, okay? So when you have complications, or you have people that have objections with, well, what about Herbalife, or what about this, or what about that? I don't even waste time. I'm like, you know what? I don't have time for that. Like, you want to know the difference? Go Google it, because you're gonna be able to figure it all out real quick. And if you still have questions, then Google some more, because you clearly didn't ask Google the right questions. Talk to Siri, because she might be able to give you a good answer. But when you want real solutions and you want to see some real changes, this is your option. And it's not just Shakeology. We're giving you the total solution, the total option. It's the total package. You've got workouts that you can do at home. So now you're not going to the gym and spending 3 hours of your time at the gym. You're not having to try to figure out when you're going to work in your workout. I work in my workout from the time that I put my chicken in the oven and my kids are doing their homework. I go do my workout, and when I come back in, kids are almost done with their homework and the chicken's done. So, you can make an excuse, or you can just make it a priority. You need to make a choice. But those are your choices. So you have the workouts, you have the recipes. Well, I don't know, I never know what to cook. I don't know. We have a solution for that. This is what you're going to cook every day. And if you need more, I can get you a meal plan and you could follow along with us. And even better than that, we're going to get you set up with these containers that are going to help you understand what portion is right for you. And we're going to do this together. I'm going to put you in a group. We're going to do this together. You are responsible for your own success, but I am here to help you and support you and motivate you along the way. When you present it like that, in a package like that, and then help them, that's another reason why I think I shied away from the whole like MLM thing. To me, as a healthcare professional, I wanted to make sure that if someone was coming to me and talking to me and needing support, that I just wasn't going to sell them a product, that they weren't just a Success Club point, that they weren't just a commission. It's like, they weren't just a notch on your bedpost, that type of thing, right? You want to make sure that you're supporting them, helping them, guiding them, and encouraging them, because they are going to be your voices where you're not. So making sure that they understand the benefits of Shakeology, making sure that they understand how Shakeology works in the system. And I know that it's hard from a clinical standpoint to be able to share this, but if you guys go over to my Facebook page, just click follow. And any of my public stuff, sometimes I do live feeds on there. Sometimes I do, if you scroll down, there is I'm wearing like a flowered maroony type tank top. I talk about why I became, a Beachbody coach, why I decided to do this. And I share about the benefits of Shakeology. These are all videos that you guys can use to talk to people about the benefits, because I know for me, it's fluent. It's something that it's like my daily speak. And for some, it may not come out so easily, but don't be afraid to share how it has changed people's lives. And don't be afraid to ask other people, or to even get on some of those Beachbody blog boards. If you see and you read some of the things that it's so transformational what's happening in people's lives. So as far as like my cancer patients and things, there's some cancers though, however, that you really can't use Shakeology with because of the way that it's formulated, because of the certain adaptogenic herbs. Adaptogenic herbs are very different with everybody. Everybody takes them in a lot differently. That's why the FDA won't approve it. But I think that if the FDA won't approve it because they know that's going to cause a lot of people to start feeling healthy again, and then that causes a breakdown of other things in terms of pharmaceuticals and all sorts of what's the word I'm looking for? It's right on the tip of my tongue and I can't say it. Research. So if you shut down research for drug medications, that's huge business. Then the pharmaceutical reps don't have anything to sell, and the doctors don't have anything to buy, and it's a huge, huge problem. Our healthcare today is not even 5 years ago, 8 years ago, it's totally, degraded. Since Obamacare came into place, as far as that, from a health practitioner side, it's all about patients in and out. It's like 15 minutes, you're in the office, you're out of the office. Write them a script. Putting Band-Aids over problems rather than treating patients, they're treating symptoms. So, and that's not the doctors necessarily, it's not necessarily their fault, it's more the medical director. It's kind of the onus is kind of on them in terms of how they are working or what they're doing with their medical facility. But a lot of times I'll walk in and I'm dealing with a doctor who wants to talk to me about my symptoms and put a Band-Aid on. I'm like, I already know what my symptoms are. I'm telling you what I have. Can you just be forthright with me and just tell me, because if you're going to put me on a drug, I'm going to tell you no. I have not. I have lots with colitis, irritable bowel. My husband's got ulcerative colitis, and I have been able to take him off of 2 of his medications. One of them he still stays on for maintenance. But again, like him, gastroenterologist and I go head to head all the time. And I'm like, you know what, Dr. Matthews, I really appreciate you, and I respect you as a physician and as a surgeon. But seriously, right now, he might be having a flare-up or whatever, and I'll take control of it. Like, that's my job. I'll make sure that I handle it. His nutrition, you just make sure that you handle whatever you need to do when you have to do a colonoscopy. Like, that's your job. So sometimes you have to be a little bit more forceful, but when it comes to people that have these conditions, they're not as, their speech or their knowledge, their expertise is not as like right in their kind of face, like asking questions. They trust, and which they totally should. Doctors are there to help us. However, because of the way that healthcare is presented today, it's not about treating patients, it's about treating symptoms. There's very, very rarely, I have one doctor, and that's the endocrinologist that I used to work for. He knows my kids, and when I'm in his office, I still hear him in the other room, and sometimes I know he's late coming to see me, and I'm totally okay with that, because I know how he is as a doctor, and that's why I worked for him, is that he took his time to get to know his patients. He knows their families, he knows their kids. And before he even talks to you about what's going on, it's, how's little Johnny? What grade is he in again? Oh my gosh, he's in 8th grade. Is he playing sports? What's he playing? Tell me about him. Show him pictures. Like, he's really involved with his patients. That's how doctors used to treat patients, but they don't do that anymore. As a matter of fact, a lot of times you're not even seeing the doctor, you're seeing the physician's assistant. So, What was I going to say? As I'm thinking, do you guys have any questions before I go into anything else? I know I talk a million miles an hour, so you just got to tell me to stop. Anyone, any questions? Nothing? Are you guys all on Shakeology?
Yeah, everybody here is on Shakeology. And I didn't know that your husband had ulcerative colitis. My husband has IBS and early stage Crohn's. My father-in-law has Crohn's. And just the difference in my husband who drinks Shakeology and my father-in-law who doesn't, the difference is pretty big. His flare-ups are gone, and he can eat, the foods that he likes to eat without worrying that, they're not going to agree with him, or he's not going to feel good, or he's not going to be able to get out of bed.
Right.
It just has made such a difference. Does anybody have any questions for Rachel?
I have PCOS, and it's not something I've shared on Facebook yet, and I will at some point, because for me, when I do share it and when I do come out with it, it'll be more like sharing from a perspective of how Shakeology has not just helped me have control over PCOS and symptoms, but to really truly understand, like, I don't know if you guys understand what PCOS is, but it's polycystic ovarian syndrome. And literally I can gain 7 pounds overnight, like wake up and just be like, my stomach looks like it's 5 months pregnant. And that's just from the cysts that are, developing on the outer part of the fallopian tubes. They're fibroid cysts. They're not anything harmful, but they still cause a lot of bloating and a lot of water retention. So it also caused me to have thyroid issues. And working with Dr. Yip when I was diagnosed with a hypothyroid, which I was like, wait a second, is this hypothyroid speaking, or is this my PCOS speaking? He's like, well, it's both. It's hand in hand, because here I was, at 120 pounds or 115 pounds. I usually fall between like 114, 115. And then at that point, when I went in to see him and I was telling him like, hey, listen, my PCOS is out of control right now. I'm pushing 120. I've never been this high before. And I know what I'm supposed to be eating, but I also know it's my symptoms. And I go back and forth, like in his office, like just 4 weeks ago, I went in there and I was 127. I'm like, are you kidding me? And he laughs. And I'm like, it's not funny. Like, for me, it's so hard. But he's like, I'm laughing because you refuse to take medication. I'm like, I don't want to take medication because I would rather deal with a 10-pound weight gain or a 7-pound weight gain than have to deal with you debilitating my thyroid from being able to do what it needs to do. I know my body's triggers. I know, when I can start to feel, when you take medicine, you mask your body's symptoms. So you don't really feel what your body's going through. It takes those symptoms away. It takes what is going on inside of your body away. So here's my question to him. And here's something that, you guys can ask your doctors. Is if you're masking the symptoms, if you're masking really just putting a Band-Aid over it, put some Neosporin on it and slap that Band-Aid on, you don't know what infection is being caused underneath that Neosporin. If you don't go in there and clean out that cut and make sure it's properly cleaned and properly dressed and taken care of, then how do you know what else is going on under there? I don't want you to mask my symptoms of PCOS, because then if something secondary happens, I don't know about it. I want to know if I have a ruptured, a ruptured cyst, and I'm not on any kind of medication to keep that at bay. It doesn't mean that the cyst isn't going to happen. It just means that the bloating isn't going to show. But it doesn't mean that the cyst isn't going to still be there. The cyst can still persist, or be there and be alive and be living and be growing. But if you're taking away the symptoms that let me know that I have a cyst, which is the bloating, the weight gain, being really tired, being really emotional, then how will I know what's going on in my body? And I don't like that feeling. So being in control or being an advocate for your health is super, super important. Shakeology has helped me tremendously. I mean, I got to tell you, it's been like night and day. So much so that I have been able to come off certain medications that I was on for, different, like I was on spironolactone. I'm not on that anymore. So being able to come off certain things that I didn't want to be on, I didn't want to be on birth control. And not that I have kids or that I want to have any more children. I have kids. I have 13-year-old twins, but not that I wanted to have any more children, because I don't. I mean, I do, but I don't. That's a whole other story. But For me, it was like I didn't want to be on birth control medication just so I can, I can handle my hormonal issues. And that's where maca comes in. Maca is amazing for your hormones. It's actually used in Easternized medicine as a thyroid supplement. So the amount of maca that's in there is what's giving you, your energy. It's what's kind of giving you your libidos back. Like it's starting to make you feel good. That's maca. So if, you don't feel that, or if you're not feeling that way, then you might want to look for maybe an additional, vitamin B supplement, because those two will work hand in hand. That's the only thing that Shakeology doesn't have a huge amount of is vitamin B. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. And that's just for allergies and different types of cautionary. They're very caution. They act on the side of caution, which is smart. So any questions for me on Shakeology? I mean, do you guys have any, you guys all have either customers or coaches, are they all doing well on Shakeology? I mean, you guys have challenge groups. Any issues with Shakeology? No? You guys are all good? Okay. So that's pretty much, how I present Shakeology to people. I don't allow anyone in my challenge groups unless they are on Shakeology. They can be in my accountability group, but if they want to work with me and they want to have the opportunity to really change their life, then they are on Shakeology. Otherwise, if I look and their accounts are inactive, if I have a coach who wants to work, so she wants to, understand more about the challenge groups and what we do as Beachbody coaches, and she's not active on Shakeology, then they're not in my groups. They're like, you're in the accountability group until you're an active coach. That's how I run my challenge groups, because it's a challenge, right? It's not something that you get to be like, oh, hey, yeah, I want to do this. Oh, everybody else has to pay for a challenge pack, but I get to do this challenge group and I don't have any accountability. That's not how it works. They can be an accountability group, but I have lots and lots of people, you guys, that are in my accountability group that were either customers that were in a challenge group at one point, or were coaches and maybe are inactive, or challengers that have never been in a challenge group because they're too afraid to be in a challenge group. So I put them in an accountability group, and they're all in there together. And every month, my coaches take every single one of our before and after pictures, and we place them all inside of the accountability group. And I share in the accountability group just as I share in my other groups. It's just different content. And I can't even tell you how many people, when they're ready, are like, okay, fine, I'm ready. Put me in a challenge group. I just placed my Shakeology order today. You've convinced me. And a lot of times it's because they sign up and they think they see all these weight loss transformations and they're like, this is easy, right? Hell no, it's not easy. It's hard. It's hard. Nothing in life, absolutely nothing in life happens because nothing that you want to attain in life happens just because you want it. If you want something and it's worth something to you, it's going to be hard. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth anything and everybody would have it and nobody would want it. But because it's something you want to attain, because it's something you want to have, because it's something that everybody desires, it's going to be hard. There's going to be complications. There's going to be, pillars in your way trying to stop you from getting to where you're going. There's going to be more than just speed bumps. You're going to have big boulders that come crashing down on you. But unless you know with 100% certainty that this is the way, this is the road, this is what's right for you, then it's going to be very hard to overcome those types of obstacles. That's why challenge groups are important. That's why being present in your challenge groups is important. I tell my coaches, if I drop into one of your challenge groups and I don't see you on the wall of that challenge group, you and I are going to have a conversation. And if you wonder why your business is not growing, then how do you expect people to trust you? Okay, because this industry is based on trust. How do you expect people to trust you if you're not even there? Like, you need to be present. You need to be aware of what's going on with your team, because that is your business, right? So if Shakeology is going to be how you're building your business, if you're building your business just based on challenge groups and helping people and making sure that people get the help they need, then that's great. But if you're building just based on, I want to sell a lot of things, I'm going to tell you something that, that one of my coaches told me. When I first started out, so just to let you guys know, I ended up signing up in June of 2014. So before I was even in the business 10 months, I was a 7-star diamond. So that's how fast I grew. So I was elite my first year. My 9 months in, when I went to Summit last year, so I signed up at the end, I guess August 5th is when I signed up, 2014. So by the time that I went to Summit in July of 2015, I was a qualified 5-star, and I was qualifying 6. And then the next week I went qualifying 7. So I grew fast, right? And here's the thing, is like I was, you know, I was telling Jimmy not too long ago, I was like, I can grow diamonds. I can grow diamonds overnight. That's not the problem. The problem is helping my coaches to do what I do out there. That's the problem. So if you're not building your foundation tight and strong, that means from results that are inside of a challenge group, your challengers make the absolute best coaches because they have the experience and they have the understanding and the knowledge of what this program and what coaching can do for them. So you want to make sure that your challenge groups are solid, and you want to make sure that you are continuously reiterating the benefits and the positive outcome of drinking Shakeology. This isn't some kind of yucky, slimy scam. You shouldn't feel salesy about it, because your results, your action is going to speak for your words. You don't even have to say anything. A lot of times I don't even have to say anything. I have people that have been following me enough that they'll just message me and say, okay, I want in. This is my last month because I signed up in June, so I'm already at Success Club. I think I'm at Success Club 12, so I will be what do you call it after the lifetime? Is it the legend or whatever? So I have I've already earned enough Success Club for the trip. I did that, I think, last month. So my coaches always say to me, like, how do you hit Success Club 24? How do you hit Success Club, 26 every month? Like, how do you do that? And I said, I don't do it. I show up every day. I'm sharing every day. I'm not going out there saying, do you want to buy a challenge pack from me? I don't do that. I invite people to my groups every single day. Every single day when I share on my wall, they know that they can have an invitation. They know that I always have room for them. When I do share with people, or people come up to me and start talking to me, I never ever talk about, I'm going to set you up with a challenge pack, and in this challenge pack, you're going to have Shakeology, and you're going to have a DVD, and you're going to have this, and you're going to have that, and oh my gosh, you're going to have a recipe book, and you're going to have my accountability group, and then you're going to have my challenge group too, and it's going to be so great, and there's so much support, but I don't do that. I don't even talk about the challenge pack. I ask them questions. I ask them, tell me about your health. What are you struggling with? Have you seen a doctor lately? How's your cholesterol? How's your blood pressure? And by the time I'm done talking to them, they're foaming at the mouth, just waiting for me to say, do you want to be in my challenge group? Yes, I do. When can I sign up? Like, I'll send you the link. I don't even have to get to that point. Sometimes they'll just be like, I really want to do your challenge group. And I'm like, I know, but I have to see if my group is going to be right for you first. Because I don't want someone to be in my challenge group that is not going to be serious about getting serious about their health. Because what that does is that takes the energy from my group and depletes it. And I don't want that. I want someone who wants to really change their health. I want somebody who really just wants to be healthier. I want somebody who wants to live by example for their children. I want somebody who doesn't want to have to see others struggle, so they know that by living by their example, that they're going to be a light, a beacon of health and hope. Those are the people that I want. The only way I'm going to know who they are is if I have a conversation with them first. So take the time, get to know your challengers, get to know your coaches. That's going to build your business. So I actually told my team, I think it was last week, I said, I don't want any more diamonds in this team. I think I've got like 11 or 12 floating around in there. Like, I don't want any more. I want you guys to go out and build. This isn't about rank. This isn't about any of that. if you want the financial rewards of this company, that offer in this company, it's got to come from your hard work and effort that you're putting into other people as well as yourself. That's the only way it happens. You have to pour into yourself. You have to pour into, so people can see through you what is possible. So don't be afraid to share. Don't be afraid. If people are going to block you, unfriend you, bye-bye. Go. Leave now. Because if you don't like the fact that I'm sharing something positive and that I'm sharing something that is going to be beneficial for you and for your family, you don't like what I'm sharing, I'm okay with that. I'm totally cool with it. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know, get comfortable with rejection. I told my coach last night, I said, if I don't get rejected at least once a day, then I'm feeling like I didn't do my job. I welcome failure. I actually want to fail because it gives me room to grow. If you don't fail, then how will you know what success is? If you're not failing, then how do you know what is possible? You don't. You don't know. So you've got to fail a few times to really understand what it is that you want. And, you know, I've had coaches quit. I have so many coaches that quit. It's okay. I'm okay with that. If it's not for them, it's not for them. I'm not going to chase them and beg them to stay. I have a coach right now who, you know, she needs this more than anybody. And she knows it. And I'm like, you're going to quit. And she's a coach and she has about 200 pounds to lose. And she signed up to be a coach because she wanted the discount. And I was like, I'm fine with that. I'll put you in there. And she's been with me for like, I don't know, almost a year. And she started to lose weight and then she stopped. And then she started to lose weight again and then she stopped. And it's her commitment. It's her desire. It's what she wants for herself. She knows the program works. She sees all the results in our challenge group. But the problem is that she doesn't have the desire. So you can't instill that in them. All you can do is be the example and hope that that's enough to lead people. But you can't force people. So get over the fact that people are going to quit. Get over the fact that people are going to tell you no. Get over the fact that you're going to drop rank. Get over the fact that, you know, coaches are going to sometimes be mean and nasty. Come on, we're all girls and we get it. Like, girls are nasty sometimes. It's just the way that we are. And get over it. Like, get over all that stuff and focus on you and how you want to present your business opportunity to those that are in your challenge group that are just killing it. So I hope that helps. Brianne, did you watch that video from Jeff Hill?
I did.
Like that spoke to my heart. I mean, I watched it like 4 times, probably 3 times fully, and cried the first 2 times, like so much I couldn't even take notes because, first of all, he should be like one of those, like do those audibles. He's got that voice. Like, yeah. I all day long. So if you guys haven't, you should. And I think that Brianna, we probably have different coaching styles. I mean, I don't know if this is, we never really talked about our coaching style. Mm-hmm. I'm not a big recruiter. I started to recruit like recently. But again, the reason why I was more fearful of recruiting, and then once I did do it a few times, I'm totally cool with it now. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Once you do it 4 or 5 times, you're totally fine. I'm totally fine with doing it. I just think that you have to design, or you have to decide what's best for business. I don't build the same way that Brianne does. Brianne doesn't build the same way I do. My coaches don't build the same way that I do. We all have a different way of building our businesses, and that's what's so cool, is that we all can build differently, and that's what makes us all unique. And that's why when they say there's so many Beachbody coaches out there, there's not really. It's just we're all very different. You know, that's like saying there's so many, targets out there, but each target is a little different than the other target, right? They're all a little bit different. They all carry something a little bit different. They all have a little bit something different to offer, but they're still all great. So it's kind of the same thing. You know, we're all coaches. We're going to build differently. We're going to fail differently. We're going to have successes differently and at different times, and that's okay. So that's how I got. Hopefully that was, enough to give you guys, take away some good nuggets and be able to apply it to your business and to your coaches.
This was fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time this morning to hop on. Guys, this recording will be up in the team page later today, so make sure to tag your coaches because they absolutely should be watching this, especially if they have been struggling with how to really explain the value of Shakeology. So
I was going to jump in here too because Denise had she had said that she has some customers or she feels bloated at times. So I just wanted to jump in and let me answer that real quick. So Shakeology is that, remember I talked about how it goes in and it works with your body's digestive system. So if you have a lot of gunk in there, like some people think that they can drink Shakeology and get away with having a cheeseburger and all, just drink Shakeology for dinner. No. If you have some of that heavier fattiness in your digestive system, like when you eat clean and you drink your Shakeology, you're good. But when people first start off with their Shakeology and they're like, I'm feeling a little bloated. First of all, your body's getting used to a new amount of digestive enzymes, prebiotics, probiotics. That's a change. So when your body has something new inside of it, it has to readapt to change, right? And then second, if you go out and have like a crazy night, a total cheat night, and you drink Shakeology that before you go to bed, just because you're like, oh my gosh, I was out on the water all day in the summer, you're barbecuing or whatever, and you're like, you're now home and you've been out all day and maybe you ate bad or you're at a graduation party or whatever it was, and then you have Shakeology. I even find with myself, the next morning I wake up, my stomach hurts, I'm a little bloated. It's because now it has to get through all that processed stuff. So understand that there are live enzymes. And when you mix your Shakeology, you do have 30 minutes because those are live enzymes. So if you're waiting past that 30 minutes and you're drinking it, like you shake it up, you make it, you put it in the refrigerator, you go work out, and then you come back and drink it, that could cause you some dietary distress because those are live enzymes. So don't do that. There's a reason why it says 30 minutes on the package. Make it 30 minutes. Matter of fact, drink it, make it, drink it right away. You're going to get the best out of it. Don't wait, that 30 minutes. I was having people that were coming back and saying, oh my gosh, my stomach hurts. I went and I worked out and I was ready for my shake. I'm like, whoa, wait, you worked out? They're like, yeah, I went and did my workout and came back. I mixed my shake up before I went, so it was just ready to go. I'm like, yeah, don't do that. That's why the package says 30 minutes. So, all right. So hopefully that helps you guys. Thank you guys so much for having me on today. I really appreciate you guys being here. I know it's Monday and I'm sure you guys have a lot of other things to be doing.
I have to go pack.
Oh, that's right. You're coming to LA.
I am. I know. So, well, thank you for hopping on today. I appreciate it. And guys, tag your teams because they absolutely are going to need to watch this. So thanks again, Rachel. I'll see you at Summit though, right? You'll be there?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.